Cedar Point is a huge park with millions of visitors every year, so they're bound to make some people unhappy.
Definitely.
I mean, we go all the time, and though we love the park, we still find things to complain about. We still find faults in it.
Yeah, definitely.
So what we thought about is going on Yelp and finding all the 1-star reviews for Cedar Point.
Now, these aren't just any 1-star reviews, because some people have legitimate complaints about the park, and that's fine. But we're looking at the ones that really just don't make any sense and are probably going to be very
The dumbest
funny.
ones.
The dumbest ones.
Yeah, the dumbest ones.
Sure.
The ones that people shouldn't be leaving a 1-star review, yet still are.
And he picked some out, and he's seen them before. We'll go over them. These are going to be... I haven't seen them yet, so these are going to be my honest reactions and see how funny they are and how dumb they are, because I'm sure they
how stupid. I mean, and you could probably find this for just about anything. You could probably find this.
I really like doing this for like fast food restaurants, like McDonald's or something, because they
probably
can be very funny.
Yeah, probably lots to complain about for those though. But here we go. Let's get started with the first one. Now I'm not going to read these verbatim for every single word because some of them are pretty long, but we'll read it through a bit. Visited on a very slow day. Slowest day of the season. I wonder how they knew. Are they regulars and go all the time?
Maybe.
3 major coasters down.
Ooh,
that's pretty bad.
That's not good. It's not like Cedar Point has many coasters or anything like that.
They no longer accept military discounts at the gate. It's double unless you pay online. And that's because they're trying to get people away from buying at the park
and creating those super long lines
and
then having to staff people.
Most things are. Like when we went to Nickelodeon Universe, it was cheaper for us to buy online. So I was actually in line. We were in line.
Yeah, we were in line.
And we had to go on the phone.
Oh, it's cheaper, so we just did that while standing there.
Rode all of 4 rides in 8 hours. Because if you don't pay for a fast pass, you're literally cut in line nonstop.
No.
Wait times say 30 minutes, but each time is tripled because you're being cut by fast passes.
Okay.
They don't hold them back at all.
Well, they do. And also, if it's so dead, then any time that it's dead at the park, there's not going to be a fast lane line, so it's really not that big of a deal. There'll be a couple people that come up the fast lane line, but
there's so much stupid with this that I'm not even sure where to begin. Like, if you go to the park and 3 major rides are down, 3 major
that
coasters.
Be annoying. I mean, for us or anybody that goes all the time, it's not that big of a deal because you go all the time. You don't need to ride those all the time.
Yeah, but
if you are going, I mean, it can be annoying if you're traveling there and aren't.
But so if you rode 4 rides in 8 hours, that sounds like your fault. Not you personally, but this person's fault. That sounds like their fault because that's an average of 1 ride every 2 hours.
And if it's so dead, then you're not going to be waiting 2 hours, hour and a half for the ride.
Yeah, and they said that advertised wait times are 30 minutes, yet they're tripled. See, we know that's a lie because Cedar Point takes fast lane into consideration whenever they make their wait times. And the wait times on the app and that aren't extremely accurate all the time.
They're more
but
accurate
they're never off by an hour.
No, they're not.
And they're saying that they don't hold back fast lane users at all. We have season-long fast lane, and so every time we go to Cedar Point or any Cedar Fair park, we have fast lane, and we know for a fact that they hold us back. So that person, they obviously didn't plan their day too well, and they were a little upset, so they were kind of exaggerating a smidgen about some of their experiences, I would say. So this next one, while visiting the park for the first time with my kids, we paid $200 plus $25 for parking. We ride 2 rides and were escorted out by the police because I took a picture of my children while on the ride. Not a ride that even goes upside down. A ride that my 9-year-old was on. Well, first of all, Like, what does going upside down have to do with you having
I
your
think-
phone out? Like,
yeah, there's a lot of rides that don't go upside down, that travel at very high speeds. Top Thrill Dragster doesn't go upside down, and your phone, if you're holding it, could easily fly back.
Yeah, and hurt someone. It's a safety thing.
Yeah, people could be killed by that or seriously injured by. Can you imagine a phone flying at you at like 80 miles an hour or something?
yeah, it's a safety thing, and they let everyone know
They
before.
let everyone know. It's not something that you have to discover.
Yeah,
They let people know. There's
so
signs.
you get on the ride, and your phones have to be away in your pocket. So this person paid money for them and their kids, and then they broke the rules knowingly.
Right.
They knew that they were breaking the rules, and then they got upset that they were kicked out of the park, which they told before you get on the ride, you'll be ejected from the park if you take any
Take any pictures
or
video
with
while
your
on the
phone
ride.
on the ride. So, and they go on to say no refund, total waste of money. Well, you can blame yourself for being an idiot and trying to like break the rules just to take a picture of your kid
Yeah.
on the ride. It's like
Go buy fun pics or something.
yeah, buy fun pics. Yeah, right there. You have a picture of your kid on the ride. Now this next one doesn't really make any sense to me. I'm trying to follow along with what exactly happened with this person. Not worth the time and money when they aren't willing to show compassion for an 8-year-old boy that needed to go to the bathroom.
What?
He doesn't know any better and was being escorted for line jumping. So of course we decided not to stay and wasted our money because they couldn't show compassion for an 8-year-old boy and was trying to place a misdemeanor on a child that doesn't know any better. If I could give this a 0, I would, but instead a 1 will have to do for now. I was trying to figure out what, like, this is so stupid and makes no sense whatsoever. I was trying to picture what was going through this person's head while they were riding it. So what I assume is that their 8-year-old had to use the bathroom,
Went to
and
the bathrooms.
the mother couldn't even wait a minute for their 8-year-old. So got in line, said, okay, you use the bathroom and then come find us in line. Couldn't even wait for their kid, because why else would the 8-year-old be cutting in line? So when the 8-year-old came to the line, they tried to cut up in front of people and get with the mother. Cedar Point not having compassion, they have bathrooms. But the thing that really got me on this is they try to place a misdemeanor on a child. First of all, you're not good. They weren't trying to arrest
No, I don't think
an
No,
8-year-old.
I don't think line jumping is gonna be some huge crime.
They weren't arresting an 8-year-old. They weren't handcuffing an 8-year-old. They weren't giving an 8-year-old
No.
a ticket.
All right, this comment or this review is like a book, pretty much.
Yeah, this is why I said that we won't be.
There's all caps. There's some sentences that are all capital letters. That's never good.
You know they're mad at this if it's all caps. At first glance, Cedar Point looked incredible. So many amazing roller coasters. However, once we were inside, we discovered that one of our friends in the group couldn't fit on any of the rides.
Oh no.
She's plus size. And they literally couldn't close any seatbelt or safety bar across her body. She ended up riding the train and sobbing for most of the day from shame and embarrassment. When we brought our concerns up to one of the staff members, the staff member looked down, all embarrassed, and said, "Yeah, we aren't a very fat-friendly park, unfortunately." All caps. How can a park know this about itself and be okay with it? If we had known about this ahead of time, that you had to be thin to get on anything at Cedar Point, she would have never come. She spent $100 to wait at the bottom of coasters sobbing because she had been kicked off of every single ride. When we got to guest services to ask about potential refund, they were kind and acknowledged this was an issue they come across quite frequently, but told us they could not offer us a refund, just free dinner vouchers. I find it most funny because they offered a fat person free dinner vouchers. Like they assumed that that was going to be like good enough because she was big, so she wanted some free food.
There's nothing worse and nothing more annoying than people getting mad at a park because someone can't fit on a ride. It is safety standards.
And it's the manufacturers that make it like this.
It's not the park. It isn't the park. And I get that most people don't know about roller coaster manufacturers, but it really it's not the park that sets it. But I mean, even if it was.
Yeah, like the height and everything, and the safety restraints, those are all from the manufacturer, and they do it in order to make sure that the people that ride it are as safe as possible.
You don't leave a bad review because of this. Like,
imagine if Cedar Point said, like, no fat people allowed. Like, imagine the backlash they would be getting.
Yeah, I know.
Like, if they said anything.
If there's a weight limit to get in the park.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be under this weight to come into our park.
Okay. This is another long one, as you can see. My family of 6, myself, my husband, and my 4 kids, ages 15, 9, and twin 5-year-olds. Thank you for giving us.
Thank you for giving the age. I am so happy.
If you could leave your birthdays and social security numbers on here too, that would help. Began the day at Cedar Point promptly at 10 a.m. this morning.
Okay.
So these people, you know that she was mad because she left it the day. She left this comment the day of.
They got right to it then.
So she Karened up big time on this. The first ride I took my newly 48-inch high 5-year-old daughter on as her first roller coaster ride was Blue Streak.
Okay.
Little did I know I wasn't allowed to take pictures of her on her first ride.
Okay.
Now, we're hearkening back to, I think, the first one that we did or whatever.
They tell you, blah, blah, blah. We already said. They tell you that you're not allowed to do it. It's a safety issue.
Like, no one cares that it's your kid's first ride. Like, the person that catches your phone to the face and needs the stitches.
You seen the person in the hospital that's in there that, like you said, needs stitches and all this stuff. You think they are like, well, that's not that big of a deal because at least they got a picture of someone's first ride on a roller coaster.
Yeah, they don't care. No one cares that it's your kid's first roller coaster. This person was very angry. They called the ride op that came up to get the phone because they stopped them on the lift hill. They call them a kid. They're like, oh, the kid's conducting. The kids that were working the ride. So right away they're insulting the ride operators, like it's the ride operator's fault. The ride operator doesn't want to walk up that ramp up the side of the lift hill and get your stupid phone because you're too stupid to follow instructions. They don't want to do that.
They're probably annoyed.
They are very annoyed.
I get it.
They're very annoyed. And they don't want to do that. And then you're insulting them for doing their job and doing what they're instructed to do. It sounds like you have a little bit of an entitlement issue. little bit.
Continue on with this book.
Yeah, well, I don't think we need to I think we got the gist of it.
It goes on for a long time.
Yeah, they do put security in quotation marks, meaning that it's not real security. So they just went along and insulted everyone that worked at the park because they got kicked out for taking their phone out. Which, so glad you guys got kicked out. I hope you never come back to Cedar Point ever again. Next one. Last but not least, fast passes ruin the park.
They don't. It's not that big of a deal.
I went a few weeks ago on a not busy day. Look, is this the same person that before? Like all these people go on not busy days. Got there at 9 a.m., left when the park closed. Rode the entire time. I rode 5 roller coasters. 5 in the entire day. 5. I think they rode 5 roller coasters the entire day. What do you think?
I think they wrote 6.
They might have wrote 6. I'm not sure.
I rode 5 roller coasters, 5 in the entire day. 5.
Five,
Disappointed.
$5 foot longs. That's just what I could think of. Not sponsored by Subway, by the way. Disappointed. And it was during COVID. So this is from 2021. So they had limited capacity, which this was from a year ago now. It was from September of 2021 when they didn't have limited capacity. They didn't have limited capacity at all by that time. They got rid of limited capacity, I think at the beginning of 2021. I can't fully remember when, but I think they started 2021
Limited.
maybe a little limited, but if they even did it all, it was very short-lived.
Right. Yeah, so
2020 was the only year that they really had limited capacity.
Yeah.
I talked to someone who had the Fast Pass, not the Fast Pass Plus,
very important.
and they rode 24 rides over the course of the day. And they took many breaks. So apparently they informed them on every part of their day. They said their average wait time was 10 minutes.
Okay.
Mine was around 2 hours.
Okay.
Now, harken back to the beginning of this, they said a not busy day. How are all these people going on not busy days and having 2 hour waits?
Yeah, when you wait 2 hours for something, it is a busy day.
They're saying it wasn't a busy day, but they waited 2 hours. Personally, I think everyone's exaggerating about their waits.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they're maybe waiting like a half an hour and saying, oh my God, I waited like 2 hours. I can't believe I just waited all this time. And meanwhile, they might have waited like an hour for Maverick.
And that's still not a busy day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still a busy day.
Yeah. And Fastlane, well, yeah, that's the whole point of Fastlane.
Yeah, people spend a lot of money on Fastlane. So, yeah,
Awesome.
The whole point of getting Fastlane is to jump ahead of everyone else, because if you don't want to spend your time waiting in lines, people spend money and buy Fastlane. So I would hope if people spend that money, they would actually get to skip the lines and not be like, well, you get to wait like a minute less than everyone else. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And don't worry about what if other people get to ride 24 rides and you get to only ride 5. Don't worry about that. That has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, who cares?
And they do say they honestly would not come to Cedar Point unless you're going to get the Fast Pass. That makes sense. I mean, they're complaining about what everyone already knows, that if you buy Fastlane, you get to ride more. Whenever we go to a lot of other parks, we'll buy their equivalent to Fastlane.
Sometimes, yeah, and we
a lot of the times,
more.
and because we do that because we took a trip to Dollywood, or we take a trip to Hershey Park, or we take a trip to one of these
and
places.
we want to ride a lot,
and
because especially if we don't live in the area or anything like that, we want to ride as much as possible while we're down there and while we have like time to go.
Yeah.
So we want to get in as much as possible, and I know other people do too because other people buy it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
It's all just you're complaining that the system is working how it was designed to work by Cedar Point. That's it for this video. I mean, I hope it was entertaining for you guys. If it was entertaining, go ahead and subscribe and drop a comment and like the video. And we'll see you guys next time on Beach Cliff Studio.